What did you start with? Because there's bound to be somebody who couldn't do it.
All
right, the ClO3. All right, so how many ClO3s are here?
3.
How many here?
7.
So you put 7 and 3 to make 21 on each side. Make that line a little thinner there. All right. So how many aluminums are here?
7.
Can I get 7 there?
No.
So you said, all right, that wouldn't work. So pick something different. All right. So how many SO4s are here? And how many are here?
3.
So we did the same thing, and you were going for 21. So you'd put 3 here, and you'd put 7 here, right?
Yes.
So when you did that, how many MENs did you make? And how many MENs are here?
7.
There's only 1, so you're going to put what here? Because 6 times 1 will make 6. Now, when you did that, how many of these chlorates did you make?
42.
So how do I get 42 chlorates right here if I have 3?
14.
14. 14 times 1 makes how many aluminums? And how many aluminums? So that's how you get that. Now, number 2, how many carbons are here?
5.
How do I get 5 carbons? Okay, how many hydrogens? How do I get 12?
6.
All right, the hard part is counting your O's. How many O's are here?
10.
Plus, how many O's? 10 plus 6 is how many?
16.
How do I get 16?
8.
Now, 3 is the only one that I gave you that I thought you might struggle with. Okay? Okay? Simply because this one has an odd number of H's on this side. It's the only thing that doesn't balance. 1K, 1K, 1O, 1O. How many H's are here? You got 2 H's, but then you have this one, which makes it 3, right? It's an odd number. The easiest way to balance it is to make it an even number. So, if you've got 2 here plus 1 here, how can I make that an even number? What should I put in front of it? What? Put a 2 there. Because 2 times 1 makes how many?
2.
So 2 plus 2 makes how many H's? It's much easier now whether you've got an even number because now you got 4. So can I get 4 on this side?
Yes.
How do I put 4 there? So 2 times 2 makes 4. Now your H's are balanced. You have 4 on each side. Now everything else will fall in line. How many O's did you create?
2.
How many O's are there?
2.
How many K's did you make?
2.
How many K's do I need?
2.
Voila.
All right, that one was easy.
Yeah, I think they're all easy, but I've had a lot more practice.
Right.
All right, questions. Can we look at some homework questions? All right, so let's do the one we were finishing yesterday because we did the first 6. So we need to finish the last 6.
Is this the second homework sheet or the one that?
It's the one we started yesterday, the one that says, it either says 2 on it or it's got nothing on the back. Blank on the back side. It's got SNCl4. Okay, at the top. You're supposed to finish this. Some of you finished this in class. Some of you hadn't. Okay, we did all of these 6 in class. So you should have had all these answered before we left. We should be picking up here with this equation and doing these remaining 6 because these I didn't work in class yesterday. Okay, so if we go to answer these, we have 7 carbonates. So we put a 7 there. And then we had what? 14 of those. So we're going to put a 14 there. I'm going to put parentheses there on my permanganates and put a 2 there. Make 14, 2 manganeses, 2 manganeses. Am I good? All right. For this one, what do we want to balance first? What y'all like? I like oxygen. 3 oxygens, 3 strontiums, 6 chlorines, 2 nickels. For this one, I'm going to draw in some parentheses right there. So 3 dichromates, that made 6 hydrogens, 6 chlorines, 2 cobalts, 2 cobalts. 6. I'm going to put a 2 there. 2 golds, 2 golds, 6 bromines, 1 tungsten, 1 tungsten. I'll put in some parentheses, some parentheses, some parentheses. So 2, I'm going to put a 2 there. 6, I'm going to put a 3 there. 3, put a 3 there. 3 zincs, 3 zincs. All right, that's 2, which made 6, and 2 there. 1, 1, 2, 2. I need a 3. If you need me to go back and work any of them, I'll be glad to. You need me to go back and explain. Anybody need me to go back and explain any of those? So we're okay with those? It was just the ones I put in the opening that were confuzzling.
Yes.
We're okay with those.
Yes.
Those are easier. Darlene's breathing deeply. Question. If you want me to work something, I'll be glad to. Just say so.
Are we about to go to homework?
Huh? Yes, we are. Say what?
I don't understand.
You don't understand it. Okay, pick one you want me to do.
Second.
Which one? This one here? Okay. So tell me which element you want to do first. Which one? Okay. So how many SRs are here? How many SRs are here? Okay. So pick something different. Okay. How many NIs are here? How many NIs are here? So if you got 2 here, what are we going to put on this side? Okay. Now, when you put that 2 there, it's like in math class where you have a 2 in front of x plus 4. What does the 2 do in front of the x plus 4? It multiplies through it and distributes, right? And you wind up with 2x plus 8, correct? So it does the same thing in the equation. So that 2 goes to nickel, but it also goes to what? So how many Cls do you have? So over here, you got to get 6 Cls. So how do you get 6 Cls? Okay, so you put a 3 there. So how many SRs did you just make? So you need to make 3 SRs over here. So how do you make 3 SRs? So you put a 3 there. All right. How many O's did you just make? Okay. How many O's are there? It's balanced. Okay. So if we take one like this, okay, with these parentheses, see how this side has parentheses? Does that side have something just like it in parentheses? We're going to draw the parentheses. Now, you just need to make sure you draw the parentheses so they're the same. Is the 7 inside or outside the parentheses? So put it inside the parentheses, and outside it's a 1. So how many of these are called dichromate. So how many dichromates do we have? Don't use anything that's inside the parentheses. It doesn't matter. So there's 3 of them. So over here, doesn't matter what's inside. There's how many. So we're going to put what right there? How many hydrogens did you make? So how do I get 6 hydrogens? Okay. How many chlorines did you make? So we're good there. So how many, chlorine. All right. How many do we need to put here to get 6 chlorines? All right. How many cobalts did we make? Where did my cobalts go? Over here. How many cobalts do we have? So we're done. Does that make sense? All right. Anybody else question on this one? All right. Let me pull up last night's homework. All right, there are the answers. Check what you got. All right, we got those checked?
No.
Or no? Okay, that's the back on. Be patient. All right, how about now?
Yes.
Okay, and now working them, you won't work. I'm just giving you a chance to check your papers.
Lewis.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, how about now? Done? All right, which ones you want me to work? What don't you know and need help with? Number 3. All right. All right, number 3. So that would be this one. All right, so what would you balance first, number 3? What would you pick? Okay. So if you pick CO3, there's how many CO3s here? And how many over here? So we would probably put a 2 there and a 3 there. And we'll just try it and see what works. It's trial and error, remember. So if it doesn't work, we'll erase it and try again. So when we do that, how many chromiums do we make? So we're going to put what here? Okay. How many MeNO4s do we make? Can we get 12 of those? We put a what here? How many leads do we make? How many leads are there? Good. So 4 chromiums, 6 carbonates, 6 carbonates, 3 leads, 12. You did it right. All right, what else? 5. All right. 5, I'm going to show you a trick. All right, so how many carbons you got here?
2.
Okay, so what are we going to put here?
2.
Okay, how many H's you got? You got 6, right? So we're going to put what here?
3.
Okay, so that'll give us 6. Now, when you add up your O's, you have how many? Plus, how many here? Okay. Now, once you put that coefficient there, you have to use it. Okay, so you can't say 2. Once you put that 2 there, 2 times 2 is 4. And a lot of people mess up because they go, oh, 1 or 2, and you got to say 3 because once you put that coefficient there, you got to count it. So 3 times that 1 is 3, plus 2 times 2 is 4. So we have a total of how many on this side? 7. Can I get 7 right here? So when you get an odd number like that and you don't know how to get it, get rid of it and put a 2 out here on this lead compound. Now when you go back and rebalance it, everything will turn out to be in even numbers and you won't have odd numbers when you balance, okay? It's just an easy balancing trick. Put a 2 on the front and then rebalance it. If it won't work, change this number to a what? What's the next even number?
4.
Put a 4 on it if it won't work with a 2. 2 will usually work, but every now and then a 2 won't. Go up to a 4. Okay, so 2 times 2 is what?
4.
So 4 C's. What am I going to put here to get 4 C's?
4.
Put a 4, because 4 times 1 is 4. That 2's not on C. That 2's on what? That's on O. So 4 times 1 is 4. All right, how many H's do I have?
12.
So how do I get 12 H's? Well, how many H's do I have right there?
Oh, I mean 6.
That's a 2 for those of you who can't see that. Okay, that's a 2. So I got to put a what here? Hold on. Because some of y'all just can't see it. I'll make it bigger. All right. Let me scroll up like that. Can you see it better now?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so How many H's do I have? Okay, how did I get 12? Okay, because 6 times 2 is 12. All right, now we got to count our O's. And remember what I said. Once you put this coefficient out front, you have to use it. So how many O's do I have here? Plus, how many O's do I have here? Okay, so 6 plus 8 is how many? So I have 14 total on this side. I need 14 here, so what's got to go there? 7.
I just kept on getting, because I thought you don't times it. That's why I was getting something else wrong.
Gotcha. What else?
9.
9. All right. What's this number? Because I don't have a number. So look at your paper and tell me what number one that one is. That's 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's 7. That'll be 8. This will be 9. All right. So which one do you want to balance first in this question? Okay. So how many CR2s?
3.
And how many over here? So what am I going to put here? Okay. Why is that a black all of a sudden? This is green. So what am I going to put here? And what am I going to put here? Okay. So how many golds did I make? Golds did I make? So how am I going to get 14 here? 14 times 3 is what? Anybody know? You can always do this if you don't. 4 times 3 is, here my 1 is 3 plus 1 is 42, if you don't know that. Or you can use calculator. 42. So how am I going to get 42 MnO4s right here? Okay. How many manganeses did I make? How many manganeses do I have? There you go. Anybody else? Question? No? You ready? You need a pencil. Okay? I don't recommend ink. That way you can erase.
She's also
Alright.
trying to get everything done before she moved. I'm just saying. I mean,
Yeah,
even
before we got lost.
even before she was moving, she wasn't.
Wait, moving it in.
Alright. I know World War I is not going to be However, someone might not believe us, but I think it's where it is. I hate to be accused of giving you an unfair advantage. All right, put your name on it. Write your numbers legibly. Huh? It is a small sheet of paper. I'm being conservative today. 7 questions. Okay, some of them are very easy. Some of them are more like what was on the homework. I tried not to be brutal. I don't want to discourage you. I'm just looking for basic knowledge about being able to balance. You do not get the entire class period to balance 7 questions, by the way. We do have other stuff we have to do today.
Just after,
Huh?
just after class.
I wasn't even thinking half. I was thinking no more than 20 minutes. And I think that's a gracious plenty. You need to get a grip over there. And you were still balancing or working. I'll swap it. Okay. That's fine. All right, who's still working? Anybody? Are we all done? Let us all the last pencil go down. All right, next person to the front. Alright, let me grab those. Thank you. Alright, if you will, we need our blue oxidation sheet today? Mhm. All right, everybody there? Got your blue card? All right, today we're going to learn how to write word equations. All right, so we're going to learn to take something like sodium plus hydrochloric acid yields sodium chloride plus hydrogen gas. And we're going to translate that into symbols, and we're going to balance it. Is the door locked? Here. Let me go unlock that, or I'll be dealing with locked out people all day. I got here, the door was wide open, so I just assumed it was unlocked. Right? Sodium plus hydrochloric acid yields sodium chloride plus hydrogen gas. Now, in this equation, we have two types of things. We have elements and we have compounds, right? Now, there are different sets of rules for elements and for compounds. Now, the compound rules, we already know. It's the element rules we have to learn today, and then we'll be good to go. Okay? Is everybody caught up with me? Hey there.
Bathroom door problem on it. We got a work order, said there was a bathroom.
I'm guessing it's got to be the outside bathroom, maybe in the science building, but it's those two bathrooms that are on the outside of the building. They asked me, I don't use a men's room. All right. So basically you have two rules today. Okay. If you have a compound, what did we do if we have a compound? What do we learn to do? Anybody remember? Really?
Refresh it.
Chris.
Oh, crisscross.
The what?
The oxidation.
That's right. Crisscross the oxidation numbers. Now, so if you have a compound like iron 3 chloride, you say, what's the symbol for iron?
Fe.
What's its oxidation number?
3.
Chloride is
CL.
Cl. What's its oxidation number? 1, -1. And what do you do with that 3 and that 1? You crisscross it, and what do you get?
CL3.
Okay. You do that for every compound. Everybody refreshed now?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. Now, the new piece we're learning today is if it's an element. That's the new piece. Okay? There are 7 elements that never exist alone. Okay, we're going to talk about why when we get to talking about the atoms. Essentially, all atoms want 8 electrons in their outer shell. They're not happy unless they have 8 electrons in their outer shell. Well, these elements can't get 8 electrons by themselves, and so they bond to another element of themselves. Okay? So, these 8 elements are H, N, O, F, Cl, Br, and I. Do I have 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. Yes. Now, because they never exist alone, they always bond to another atom of themselves. So we make them diatomic. Okay? We call these diatomic elements. Now, if they're diatomic, what do we put on them? That's right. So we add a little 2 on these elements. Little 2s on them. Now, we only add a subscript of 2.
Ms. Wall,
Yes.
when you get a chance, can you get the classwork for Tanisha Kelly in your 4th period and send it to the main office? I have to send it home with her sister today. She won't be in class.
Okay, we're largely doing a lab today.
Okay, maybe you can just write her a note or something.
Okay, I can do that.
All right, thanks.
Welcome. Okay, so when it's a compound, we're going to do what? We're going to crisscross. So see how chlorine is up here in a compound. Did I stick a 2 on it? No, I did what with it? I crisscrossed. When it is what? Alone. Okay, notice I use that word alone. I do what? I add a 2. But it has to be one of these 7 diatomic elements to get a 2. So if I pick zinc, and we're talking about zinc metal, and it's alone, is it going to get a 2? No. Okay? You have to be one of these special elements. These are special people on the periodic table. They cannot handle being alone. Okay? Guys, y'all have all seen girls. Do girls ever go to the bathroom by themselves? They don't. Okay? Guys can go to the bathroom all day long, go in the bathroom, take a leak, come back out. They did not have to have company. Girls do not ever go to the bathroom. Any of you guys going to the prom? Y'all all staring at me like I'm crazy. Are any of you all going to the prom?
Yeah.
The girls are. Some of the guys are looking at me. If y'all go to the prom, I want you to remember this when you go to the prom. Watch to see the girls go to the bathroom. They never go to the bathroom by themselves. They go in herds, okay? These little elements are girls, okay? The other elements on the periodic tables are the boys, okay? They can be by themselves. These elements right here can't be by themselves. They either bond to each other or they bond to other elements. They never exist by themselves, okay? They always travel in pairs or in packs of other elements. Zinc can be by itself. It could be Eduardo. Sodium could be Xavier. Does not require a friend. Hydrogen over here is Sophie. It's a girl. It's got to have a friend. It can either have another girl, it can be bonded to Jaden. It can be two friends together. Or it's got to be bonded to iron. It's got to have 4 people. Can't be by itself. Okay? These 7 elements, never found by themselves. Okay? They're all female. You understand what I'm telling you? They are never by themselves. So, how does this work? So, suppose I write this equation again. And I say we have sodium plus hydrochloric acid yields. I'll even write it down here because I'm going to run out of space. Sodium chloride plus hydrogen. Now, we want to translate this into symbols. Now, the first thing I have to recognize is, what can you tell me about sodium? Is it an element or is it a compound? It's an element. All right, what can you tell me about hydrochloric acid? About sodium chloride? And about hydrogen? So these two, we're going to be crisscrossing in. These two, we're going to be checking to see if they're diatomic. Okay? So, how do we write sodium? It's an element. No crisscrossing involved. Is it one of the 7 elements we just listed as being diatomic? You said no, we're done. On to the next thing in the equation. Plus hydrochloric acid. Does the fact that I said it's an acid ring any bells for y'all? I got a few people nodding yes. If I tell you it's an acid, what's the first thing that might pop into your head? You should probably look at the back. And is it starred? Do you think I'd put one of those on a test or a quiz? Oh, most certainly. You're supposed to know 4 of them. Some of you still don't know those 4. You will. Did you hear me say will? Will see those on the next 2 tests, possibly on a very near quiz. So if you haven't learned those, I strongly recommend you learn those. All right, so what's hydrochloric acid? Since you already have that one memorized, do I even need to worry about the oxidation numbers and crisscrossing? No. On to the next thing. All right, sodium chloride. That's a compound. What are we going to need to do? Crisscross. All right, so what's sodium? What's chlorine? What are my oxidation numbers?
Chlorine, -1.
And sodium? So what's going to happen to those? They're going to do what? They're going to crisscross, but instead of crisscrossing, what's going to happen if they're both the same? They're going to cancel out. I'm not even going to waste my time bringing them down. They're going to cancel out. Okay? And then we have plus an element. What's hydrogen? All right. Now, it's an element again. What do we always ask ourselves if it's an element? Is it one of those 7 diatomics if it's by itself? If you said yes and it's by itself, what do you have to do to it? You got to add a 2. Why didn't we add a 2 to sodium? It was by itself. It's not one of the 7 special elements. Okay? So all that's left for us is to balance the equation. Does it balance the way it's currently written? What doesn't balance? So let's balance it first. How many H's are here? What am I going to put here? How many chlorines do I have? What am I going to put here? How many NAs did you make? What am I putting here? Voila. It's just done. Questions? Okay? So, let's say that we have antimony, oxide plus fluorine. And it makes antimony 3 fluoride plus oxygen. All right, what can you tell me about the first thing that's up there? It's a what? It's a compound. So what do we need to do? Crisscross. What's antimony? Yeah, what's the symbol? So SB has a 3, and oxide has a, okay, so the 2 comes down and the 3 comes down. All right, plus, what's fluorine?
1.
Okay, do I even need an oxidation number? No, because it's an element. Am I crisscrossing it with a soul? It's an element. Anytime it's an element, what do we ask ourselves? It's on its own. Is it one of the 7 diatomics? So what do we do if it's a yes? Add a 2. Right? Antimony 3 is what? SB has a 3. What's fluoride? And a -1. So I've got a 3 and a 1. And then plus, how do I write oxygen? O. It's an element. Is it one of the 7? Yes. So I put a what on it? 2. Is it balanced? Which element do you want to balance first? You tell me. I hear oxygen. How many O's are here? How many over there? So you want to put a what here? What do you want to put here? Okay. So how many SBs do we make? What am I going to put here? How many F's did you make? What am I going to put here? Fabulous. Everybody with me? All right. Now, will they all have elements in them? Of course not. So if you have one that's something like nickel 4 chromate plus aluminum perchlorate becomes nickel 4 perchlorate plus aluminum chromate. trying to be deaf like that when she's 40.
And she's always doing this. She's always like, I need to turn you music down.
Huh?
She told my brother the other day, she's like, turn your music down, please, and when you do, I'll.
All right, so if we look at what we have right here, all right, you have what? What do we do? Nickel has a 4. Chromate is what?
CR more.
All right, now, before you even crisscross, and I picked this one for a reason, because a lot of people miss this. What do you notice about those oxidation numbers? They're going to reduce, okay? A lot of people just go ahead and crisscross and ignore that. One of the things you need to get good at noticing is when you look at your oxidation numbers, you need to go ahead and notice what's going to happen to them. Are they going to cancel out? Are they going to reduce? What's going to happen? A 2 and a 4 in math class would do what?
1 and 2.
They're going to become a 1 and a 2. So if you bring your 2 and your 4 down, that's not a problem. But make sure you notice that that 2 and that 4 are going to become a 1 and a 2 because they're going to reduce. Okay? We've been crisscrossing long enough at this point that you should notice those things. All right? Plus, aluminum perchlorate. Aluminum has a 3. Perchlorate is ClO4. And it has a 1, so we're going to have a 3 there. Yields. Nickel, 4 perchlorate. So nickel has a 4. Perchlorate is ClO4 with a 1, so we have a 4. Plus, aluminum has a 3. Chromate is CrO4 with a 2. We're going to have a 2 and a 3 there. Any issues with how I did that? Okay, and believe it or not, these are the ones y'all will do the absolute best with on the test. You will balance the best, you will write the best, you will predict the best when we get there next week. It's the other ones that become the disasters. All right, so I'm going to take these numbers out so that we can balance. All right, so when we look at this, what do we want to balance first? Okay, how many here? How many there? So we're going to put a 3 there and a 2 there. All right, how many aluminums did you make? So put a 4 there. How many perchlorates? So what am I going to put here? How many nickels? How many nickels? Questions? Now, one thing you will notice is if you write it wrong, what will happen? It won't balance. Okay? Now, yesterday I gave you 3 worksheets. I want you to find the one.
I lost it.
I don't care. That looks like this. Okay? Looks like this. I don't care. Let's sit there and do nothing. Convert oxygen into carbon dioxide.
All right.
It's an involuntary reflex. It's not a skill, but go ahead. Okay? I want to do the bottom 4. Okay? The bottom 4 word equations. Okay? I want to do those 4. And I want to see where we're at. And I'm going to take a look, see how we balanced. So far, the first two papers are 100, so I'm pleased thus far.
Would you put parentheses on the acid?
Which acid are we talking about?
But is
No.
it after you crisscross?
No. No parentheses. Not bad.
That's something that usually is. I think I'm reading my box. Very good. I'm just going to never find the wrong last week. Don't care to repeat for me. No. Did she say?
Yeah, she didn't hear you either.
So
I
is
was
it hot again?
no, I was just curious who the other person was.
I think whoever it is.
I was just curious.
Maybe I can say no again.
I won't disagree with you. I was just curious if you knew.
We could do.
Alright, the quizzes are graded and they're in Power School, but I can't hand it back to you until third period to take theirs. So if you want to know what's in Power School. And Eduardo, of course, recorded from yesterday's which thought was on that quiz because you didn't know that last one. Alright, how we coming? Got them done? Questions? Anybody stuck? Anything? No? I taught it so well, no one has a question. Really?
Are you all?
Well, of course. You feel like you did it well. You feel like you did magnificent. That is fabulous to hear. Where? You wrote it right. The only thing wrong here is you didn't crisscross an oxidation
I have a
number
37 in Spanish.
on that one. That's a compound that you need to crisscross. That's by itself, or the on the list of sub-data. But that last one is correct.
I went out, I just drove out and come back in. Do you have a zero
You said the last one.
in health science for charts and
Say
functions?
what now? That was correct. You just need to balance. Anybody else have a question?
Ball packet, I got it. But charts, I got it.
You got an F on the bone packet? What are you talking about? You got an F? You didn't do it?
No, because she'll tell us oh, you can keep it, and then.
What
turn
ball
it in.
packet? What ball packet?
Exactly.
Anybody else have a question?
Is it this paper? Because I thought she said not to turn it in.
If
Well,
it's
turn
what
it in
we
then.
did
You
today,
don't have
then
to.
no.
How
No,
about
I
y'all?
ain't talking about that.
Oh, no.
You know anything special about that? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. How about y'all? Okay. I hate to interrupt your phone time over there. I was just thinking like, all day. I'm going to him. Oh, you're not on your phone the whole day. What do you know about that one? By itself.
Yeah, I'll go with ball packet. Too possible. And it said out of 9.
Right. So I'm guessing it's 9 pages.
Or maybe it's just 9.
I really like that, because especially for each unless you're talking about this, but I have a grade for them. And there's a bunch of them.
Now, that was only a quick scan. Dear God, woman, don't you have a case for a phone? Don't you back over it?
No, right there. In your phone. How do you? And it had a case on it too. It's okay.
Well, I don't blame you if it looks like that. Dang, you got like chunks missing. I mean, look at this. I mean, there's like chunks missing. I can see the electronics. Dang. I am so sorry.
She let me make them up at the end of the quarter.
I cried.
I literally took like 3 tests.
All right, so let's see what we've got here. I can find what the questions are. I gotta cry right along with you.
Not really.
That's one right there.
I got 3 pounds of sugar. 7 pounds.
I got an 80 in Jessica class, though. Good job. And I just have a 7 something. So I got a 68 in such though.
What do you have?
I had a 68 in her class. It went up 6 points.
So is this gonna be a quiz or a test in this class? Test. Okay, because it says test and power code.
It's such test for like the last 4 days.
So normal one says.
All right, so in the first one, magnesium bromide is what? It's a compound, right? That's all I wanted there. So, MgBr, crisscross, you get a 2. Chlorine is an element. Is it by itself?
Yeah.
So, does he get a 2? It's one of the 7. You got to put a 2 on it. All right. Yields magnesium chloride. Is it a compound or an element? It's a compound, so you got to crisscross. So plus 2 minus 1, bring your 2 down. This 2 has nothing to do with being diatomic. It comes from the fact that you crisscross the 2 and the 1. Just like this comes from crisscrossing. This 2 comes from the fact that it's what? Diatomic, and it's by itself. Okay? Has nothing to do with that. Plus bromine. Bromine is by itself. Is it one of the 7? Is it one of the 7? Yes. You put a 2 on it. What can you tell me about that reaction after you do it?
It's balanced.
It's balanced by itself. You can, again, put all 1s. You can write balanced. You can do what I do, which is leave it alone. That's all I would have done to show it's balanced. Zinc is Zn plus hydrochloric acid, HCl, yields zinc chloride. This is an element by itself. Does it get anything? This is an acid. It's already written for you if you know the formula, so you don't have to do anything to either of these. This is a compound. What do you have to do to it? Crisscross. Bring your 2 down. If you don't have a 2 on it, it's wrong. All right, plus hydrogen. Hydrogen is one of the diatomics. You need to do what to it? Put a 2. Is it balanced?
No.
No. There's 2 chlorines. Put a 2 there. I made 2 H's. There's 2 H's. 1 zinc, 1 zinc. It's good. Now, these questions are worth 3 points on the test. 1 mistake is going to take 2 of the 3. Okay? 1 mistake will take 2 out of your 3. On the quiz next week, they're 20-point questions. It depends because 5 will be on type. So out of the 15 that are left, depends on how big the mistake is as to how much I take. But they're hefty. Mistakes count a lot. All right, aluminum sulfate. Aluminum has a 3. Sulfate is SO4. It has a 2 oxidation number, so 2 and 3 come down. Potassium has a 1. Oxalate is C2O4. It has a 2, so the 2's coming down. Now, when I write it, my oxidation numbers are already here. I don't need to look them up again. Aluminum has a 3. Oxalate C2O4 has a 2, so my 2 and my 3 are right there. plus my potassium has a 1, SO4 has a 2. So now I can get rid of this crap, and then I can balance. Now, if you leave all that crap in, you need to rewrite your equation so that it looks like that when you're ready to give me an answer on a quiz. I don't want it with all that stuff in it. Now, what do we want to balance first? What you want to balance first? All right, SO4 has how many? 3. So we're going to put a 3 there. That makes how many Ks? 6. So we're going to put a 3 to make 6. That's 3 oxalates. So we've already got 3, 2 aluminums. 2 aluminums. We're good to go. All right, the last one, manganese 7 chloride. Mn7. Chloride has a 1. Bring my 7 down. Plus, what do we have? Nickel 3 carbonate. Nickel has a 3. Carbonate is CO3 with a -2. Bring my 2 down. And my 3. Yields, what do I have? Put them in the right order. Manganese has a 7. Carbonate has a 2. We have a 2 and a 7 plus nickel 3 chloride. Get rid of these, and those. All right, so from there, what do you want to balance first? Carbonates, 7, 3, 6, 14. Any questions? Everybody feel okay about word equations? All right, we're going to start types. We probably won't finish it today, but we can start it. We'll do some homework with that tonight.
Oh,
Yes.
on a weekend.
I'm aware that it's a weekend. I have homework on the weekend too.
What'd you say? You got the ACT.
I'm about to see something.
I do too. I'll be here. I'm your science teacher.
You are?
Mm-hmm. So those of you who will be here tomorrow, so will I.
Unfortunately.
Feel the
I've
same.
already done it, and it really wasn't bad, especially
All right. So those of you who like titles, your title is the 5 types of reactions. All right. The first type is a single displacement reaction. Some textbooks call it displacement. Some call it replacement. It is one and the same. It just really depends on which way you learn it when you're probably in high school as to which one you still call it if you teach it and use it. All right, because my high school teacher called it displacement. It's the one I still use. My college professors called it displacement. It's the one I still use. But single replacement means the exact same thing. Now, because we're going to label types, and I know people are lazy, if you'd like to abbreviate, you may abbreviate SD. If you abbreviate it just S, it will be wrong because we will have a type called synthesis. And if you write S, I will assume you mean what? Synthesis. You cannot argue with me, Miss Wall, I really meant single displacement. I'm going to assume it's synthesis. Okay? But SD is single displacement. Now, single displacement is an element plus a compound, and you get an element plus a compound. Okay? So an element is going to react with a compound, and you're going to get an element plus a compound. Now, when these two things react, what happens? Essentially, two elements change places. The element switches places with one of the elements in the compound. That's what happens. Two things switch places. In single displacement or single replacement, two elements change places. So, as an example to illustrate single displacement, okay, here's a typical single displacement reaction. You will notice this right here is a what? I know, but it's a what? It's an element. This is a what? It's a compound. How did you know that was an element and that was a compound? An element has one capital, and this has what? Two capitals. Does that make sense? Okay. This has what? So it's a compound, and this is a what? That's how you can tell it's single displacement. Now, any stabs in the dark as to which two elements change places? Give it a shot. Those of you who said NA and the MG are correct. Now, next week, I'm going to not give you this half. You're only going to have this side, and you're going to have to give me this half. That's where we're going next week. Okay? I'm giving you the left side. You're going to predict the right-hand side. Okay? I'm not going to shoot you. You're going to get it, and you're going to get it right. Okay? Does everybody have what they need on this side? Except Darlene, who's going to hyperventilate by this time next week because she's already breathing deeply. Okay? She's going to pass out by next week. Somebody rub her back and massage her. All right? Everybody got it? All right. Double displacement. Okay? It's called replacement. Also, it means the exact same thing. We can abbreviate it DD. The only thing that's different about this one is it's a compound plus a compound, and you get a compound plus a compound. The only thing that makes this different is there are no single elements. It's all compounds. All compounds.
What day do the SAT start? The first day?
It starts tomorrow at 10.
No, I'm talking about what day.
I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Yeah, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They usually do not test on a Monday, and then we do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and it will be done by last name. So my best guess, without looking at my email, which I probably will open sometime next week, is the first third of the alphabet is Monday or Tuesday, the middle third is Wednesday, and the bottom third is Thursday. I didn't look, so Acevedo is probably Tuesday. You're Worth, so you're probably Thursday. Okay? And I'll do the same thing I always do. Y'all are going to miss class. It'll be on YouTube. You're going to have to catch up with what you miss. I mean, I can't stop class for 3 days because everybody in here except for Baden is a junior. So you're all going to miss 1 day of class next week. Okay? There is nothing I can do for you. So if you miss a quiz, you got to make it up. The content, I'm sorry.
What day is it?
Huh?
What day is it?
Depends on what day I decide.
Oh, man.
We will not quiz Monday because the next quiz, we will quiz Tuesday.
Oh, man.
So those of you who have the ACT on Tuesday, you're missing the quiz Tuesday. So you will have to make it up. Now, do I expect you to make it up Tuesday? No, but at some point you will have to make it up. We will probably not quiz Wednesday. So those of you who are taking the test on Wednesday will not miss a quiz. The content that you miss, you're responsible for. Right now, based on our progression, best guess is the test is not next week. It is that Monday, okay? So you should have time to get back, watch the video, get back in class, get caught up, and be ready to test with us, okay? So you're not missing the day before the test. You're not missing the review. You've got time to do your thing and get caught up, okay? Now, same concept. Two elements change places. Nothing is different about this. Two elements switch places. Anything that says displacement or replacement, elements are switching. Okay? This is the easiest one to predict, and it is the one we will start with on Monday. So, if you notice this one, whoops, it's just like the last one that I put on the board. This is the one we're going to end with. Okay? When you look at this one, again, what makes this one different from the one that we did just a second ago? They're all compounds. There's no elements in this one. Okay? They both have 2 plus signs. Okay? That's one thing I want to point out. So when we start this on Monday, these have 2 plus signs. Synthesis and decomposition are not going to have 2 plus signs. Any guesses as to who's switching?
The first one, and meet up with the second one.
Okay, so which one is the first one?
NA,
NA switching with who?
MG.
I mean, MG.
All right, you could say NA switching with MG. That's one answer you could have given. Or BR switching with CL. And we'll talk about how that works on Monday. Okay? You will not have a quiz Monday. The next one will be Tuesday. Did everybody hear me say that? Okay? So, those of you who will be here